DM. He said he was getting a level. Just wanted to check with everybody. Everybody doing good? Everybody getting their chart cast? Is it functioning? Is it working? We're kind of just doing this free thing. So you guys are our guinea pigs. So congratulations. Just want to make sure we're actually helping people out here, doing what's right. And then on another note, Brady, saw you just the other day. You're new to the room, is that correct? You can feel free to type in the chat if you want to. All right, while we wait for that, let's get into kind of where we're at. What we have here. All right, so a little added thing here on the ES. We've got a little decision point that we're trying to stay above here. It's out here 89.75, so I'll add this in. And that puts us just to the same targets that we're already going up toward here. So okay, so yeah, so that's the ES. So we've got where'd they go? Nope. Nope. I think I have them in the wrong spot. I'm a little off here. All right, the targets are a little off here, so it's actually 94.75. I'm not sure why I put them there. 97 and 99. Not sure why I did that. Okay. So that's the current running scenario. Not a huge one, obviously. We are above the decision point at this point, so the current has to hold is down here at 84.25. So as not to blow up this smaller scenario here, folks. So if on the open you get a dip, that's fine. Just don't let it go much beyond this guy if it dips at all. If not, then obviously you're just into a chasing situation at this point, which is not awesome because again, we're only a couple points away from even the first target. After that, we've got a hurdle up here at 66.07 And again, this is all kind of a pre-news move at 10 o'clock. Again, all bets are off until, again, if they have some huge spike, we got to let the smoke clear. But to the downside, in the event that there is some major move to the downside, we do have a hurdle down here at 68.75. And then I'm going to double check my downside targets here. I feel like those are potentially off. Yeah, I'm going to take some time to look at those. Not that they matter at the moment; they're pretty far down. But I'm gonna redo some research on those. Yeah, they may also shift a tad, but then again, they might be right. All right, the NQ similar. So we have decision point here right around 40, which again we've already come back up on top of. They had a has to hold earlier this morning. Again, if you had your chart cast running, then you should have already seen that on the NQ. Obviously, they've already dipped. They didn't quite get there, sadly. But this is the NQ for you. Sometimes they just miss by a little bit, and those guys are for that particular has to hold. It's targeting right here at 73. Call it 74, 73 if you want to go conservative. 88 and 102. Now, interestingly, of course, they've got a couple additional things going on right here. We've got a hurdle that has to be overcome. So this is not a big picture hurdle, so I didn't label it as such. But it's the same thing. Like it could go a little above, so it kind of makes sense where it's placed. Again, with the news coming up, because we've got a secondary scenario that's also at play still, and its targets start right here at 64, and then 14 and 63. And then you get into a big picture has to hold on the NQ, which is up here at 66. If that guy breaks, that'll put us into a whole different ballpark of things to look at. But as of right now, looking at kind of just what is, just taking it as fact. So far, the has to hold is holding. We're back above the decision point and slowly making our way to at least the 73 at the moment. Did I put anything? No. So yeah, these may just be shorter moves here between now and 10 o'clock before the news actually fires off. So all right, about a minute to go. So yeah, most important thing to watch to the downside here in the immediate term or the decision points on both and the has to holds on both. Okay, so right there already on the NQ decision point to hurdle, and of course first target here on the bigger scenario. And if you're counter trend trading that hurdle on the NQ, it's still the same uh, has to hold that you'd be seeking as initial. Well, let's just say you definitely have to take profit there without a doubt, but you may want to take something a little more conservative given the fact that they couldn't even get there the first of this morning. So again, don't expect a whole lot between now and 10. It would make sense that they probably don't do a whole ton. So just take short profit. There we go. There's the ass to hold. Let's see what they do with it. Again, give it some wiggle room. You got low mid just a few points below it. And if you got in on the has to hold on the ES, you need just a conservative pairing out, obviously, right here between the kids and that decision point. It's not a bad option. Otherwise, just watch the decision point. If we can climb back above it, then yeah, it'll be the same targets to the upside. And of course, we'll watch it timing wise. But again, if we just start getting too close to 10 o'clock, then obviously you gotta go flat after as we near 10 o'clock. So NQ, same thing. Definitely get out some of it at least here prior to that decision point at 40, and we'll see if we've got the see if the timing works out and take some more off around 61. And maybe we'll get lucky and they'll get up to the first target at least before the news. Matthew, are we rolling on Monday? I'm debating it. I'm watching volume. Obviously, being the official rollovers on Friday, so I usually like to roll Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah, just watch the channel, the trade room discussion channel here. I'll post on Sunday whether or not. There we go. All right. Got some of it off. That's good. Yeah, if you have a cash account, and if we can get up at least high enough back to well, the 61 on the NQ, be better if we can get above 91 on the ES prior to the news. And you could just, put a break even if you were able to get in at the Hasta holds. Let it ride. Whoa. All right. Finally got back to trend on the ES. I was like, come on, man. You got to get something off for this news. There we go. And again, a little more, it's not far away. I get it, but we're getting close to news. So 91, 91 quarter would be, you could probably even extend it up to about 92 half. Again, I'm just trying to find something before you really need to start considering whether or not you're going to go flat. Which you should. You got news coming. All right, folks are 5 minutes out, so be considering your positions and what you need to do to close them out. It is what it is sometimes. Might have the perfect entry and still, yep. Oh, whoa. Got it in there just in the nick of time. Like I said, 92.5 is probably the most you could extend it out to. You got a couple minutes. They might actually get to that 94.75, but it's not worth risking it. Boom. Boom. Got close. Not a bad start to the morning, though. 10 points. That's okay. And obviously, way more than that on the NQ. Obviously, kind of hard to say. Nobody's got a crystal ball. May just have to sit on our hands for a bit and see what they give us next. And again, it could come in numbers wise, could come in what they estimate, and the market doesn't really make a giant move at all.
ES buy-side liquidity strength 98 swept on 5-minute chart.
All right, well, not a huge reaction. So both are still valid. Decision points and has to holds. Ryan, did the ES go up close enough to the first target to make the decision point now that has to hold? Yep, that's the when they miss it by like a tick, that's always the big question, and I have no answer for you. Yep, they need to hit the number. If they don't hit the number, they only miss it by a ticks. It always kind of it leaves everything open, sadly. So Brady, I sent you a friend request and a message. When you get a second. Anybody else here that's new? Hasn't been here before? Boom. There you go. Now it's official, Ryan. Now the has to hold has moved up to 89.75. So the 61 here on the NQ is going to become even more important at this point. 24,061. So if we fall short, and well, not so much fall short, if we just can't really push up and above, the only thing that you can watch really is back at the decision point back here at 40. If this doesn't start to like climb and get on top of it and we get back below 40, then we'll have to watch for potential downside targets. But right off initially, it'd still be the same has to hold, because they haven't done enough to actually break this has to hold yet. They've just been, as you can see, right, like it's kind of obvious, they're just stuck between hurdle and has to hold. We haven't gone anywhere. So again, any counter trend trade on the NQ off of the hurdle, you still got to take profit at the 40. Just haven't really gone anywhere yet. Yep, they are leaving their options open at the moment. So again, 89.75. It is what it is until it isn't. All right, that should be enough. Not a whole lot to say here. um, Obviously, we had the initial move up. They have indicated that that particular scenario is complete. I'm just watching to see what they indicate next. I guess on the plus side, as we were able to capture those entire 10 points, that was exciting. Hey, buddy. Thank you. Mark, how so? Did everybody else see this? I just want to make sure that we're broadcasting correctly and that everybody, like anybody's input's great. But we had the 84 quarter as the has to hold on the ES and the, what was that, 208 on the NQ. Well, Mark, it's not my trades. Okay. It's what the market is providing us, right? They gave us a has to hold. You've only got two options. You can again jump out in front of it and deal with what comes after that, or if you wait for confirmation, then the other option that you had was the decision point that was just above us here at 89.75. Now here's the downside to this particular morning, right? We had news at 10 o'clock. So had you not jumped out ahead of it, I'm assuming, I think it's the ES that you trade, pretty sure. So had you not jumped out ahead of it, it has nothing to do with me, right? Did I guess I should clarify. Did you know that we had this posted 84 quarter has to hold? Did you see that? Okay. Did you have a limit order sitting waiting for it anywhere in this zone before it happened? Because we gave that information at like 9:20 this morning. So we gave it back here when we were up at 92. Okay. So again, given the morning, right? And just how the whole thing's set up, I don't get to control this stuff. That if you didn't just put a limit order down here, knowing full well we got 10 o'clock news, right? Then yeah, as 10 o'clock's rolling around, like, or hell, even before that, like 9:50, 9:55, now you're sitting there going, shoot, should I even be getting into a trade? Which is really the best thing to be going through, right? Okay, well, I appreciate the honesty. Then don't worry about it. We still haven't gone anywhere. We haven't done anything. They just ended this one scenario. And there's first target on, no, yeah, first target on the NQ right there. All right. So next thing happening here on the ES, they got 90, looks like 95.75 is now, it's a minor has to hold. Uh, oh yeah. So they basically stuck it right where they peaked out earlier. Shush. I had it at 80. So you had a limit order sitting, just to make sure I'm clear. You had a limit order sitting at 84 quarter. Okay. Have we covered that before? No. Entries. We I mean, it's more of a rhetorical question. I give out the actual number. Like this is the literal number that's coming out of the market. Okay. Never, ever, ever try and get cute and put your entry at the actual number. Okay. I give the actual number because it's important for everybody to have like the literal number as things move, ebb and flow and break and don't break, right? You have to have the actual number. But when it comes to entries and exits, I'm just going to repeat it. It is your job to figure out your risk tolerance, but you have to get out in front of it. You've got to get it. And I've said this 1,000 times. It's got to be somewhere between like 3 and 4 ticks out in front of that actual number. Even if it goes to 83 quarter, 83.75, it doesn't matter. If it's going to do that, it's I'm trying to train you more for the future that when you're trading a lot of contracts, it's not about being dead on accurate or getting cute with the market and thinking that it's going to go through the level by a tick. When you're trading 20, 30, 50 contracts, what is your concern? Your concern is, are they getting filled both on the entry and on the exit? And if you just get it in your head now and you do it as just normal, and that's Bob posted yesterday. He put up his screenshot um, of him basically having stuff, and that was like my one critique of exactly what he did was like he put his exits dead on the number. Would it have worked out? Of course it did. We can all just look back in 2020 now and hindsight, like, yeah, worked out great. Does it really matter that you took it off 3 ticks ahead of that? No. Is your likelihood to be filled increased exponentially? Yes. Just get out or just get in. I mean, look at my marker. Where did I get in? I got in 85 quarters. I took it exactly what I'm saying. I took it 4 ticks out ahead of that number. And why? Why did I choose to do that? Well, 84 quarters is the actual number. I got POC sitting right here at 84.75. And again, this is all just stuff that I know we've covered before, but it's good to go over again since the market's literally going sideways. We got POC here at 84.75. So as we say all the time, if you get a number of some sort, look at your surroundings. Like even with this current one up here at 85.75, look at your surroundings. You've got 86 quarter, just 2 ticks out ahead of it. Does it mean, again, does it mean get cute and try and get it here or get it here? No, it just means understand that, like, not to panic, I guess. So yeah, even if like take the further, well, I guess that just changed. The other example would earlier today. So again, 84 quarter expected low at that time was right here at 83. Was I already looking at that and processing like, all right, well, the actual number is 84 quarter. Am I cool if it goes to 83 and wicks back above? Yeah, that's not a big deal. It's a point and a quarter. It's fine. Yeah, I hope this is helpful. Same deal with the NQ. Obviously, it finally got to its target. It was on a very different path, obviously, than the ES. They were they were not running the same plays, not the same scenarios. Which we know this, right? Because we go over this all the time. It got to its has to hold, climbed above trend, never came back to the has to hold. And now, of course, it's hit target number one. So now, as we all know, 40 is the new has to hold. It has to um, yeah, it's got to either maintain or break. I think they're shifting the has to hold here, folks, on the in or the ES. They are. It's 98 half. So that's just a heads up. And again, it's a minor has to hold. If it, you don't have to give it a lot of space. Shush. Yes, you said that many times. Oh, good. uh, that's good, Ryan. NQ's on the move. ES is just sitting still. We're about to get second target on the NQ of scenario number one. Lee, I managed the first has to hold 85. Excellent. Entered at 85, collected 4 points before 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. That's great, as you should, because again, we had news coming. Uh, I definitely pushed it. Like, yeah, I think we had like a minute and 45 seconds till news. It was not something that I condone, but we got like the best entry, so it's like, well, we'll see what happens. Um, then tried the next pass to hold at 90 after 10 p.m. After 10 p.m. I don't think. Let's double check that. I think that's what Ryan was asking about. Yeah. So let's clarify, Lee. This is exactly what Ryan's question was about. Um, it didn't actually get to the 94.75. If you look at the 10 o'clock candle, it peaked out at 94 half. And this is exactly what Ryan was saying. Did we actually get to target? And my answer there is like, they've left their options open. So good for you, obviously, for hitting it again at 90. Nothing wrong with that. But they left the option on the table still to go all the way back to the has to hold. Again, this is why it's so wildly important to know the targets, the has to holds, etc. Because the scenario is not dead, it's not over, or it doesn't shift up, into a new concept unless you actually hit the sucker. Now, but let's just take let's take this morning's example. Okay. And let's assume same thing, like it actually came a tick shy of the first target. So this is good for everybody to hear. Let's assume it came a tick shy of the first target and it rolls back through the decision point and then it ultimately breaks the has to hold. That sucks because they didn't really check the box. They didn't really finish it. But yes, they can and they do that from time to time. So uh I said it moved up to this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. After it moved up to the city. Okay. So after it got to target. So you're talking after 10-10. Then yes, perfectly fine. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the right call. That's trading. Exactly. If anybody here thinks that I win them all, you are wildly mistaken. I'm just comfortable enough just stepping out in front of them. Has to hold? Cool. I'll try that. Because again, we don't have any control over the market, guys. None of us. It's either going to do it or it's not going to do it. So, what's the only thing that I can do? Well, if I interact as closely as I can within reason, again, 3 4 ticks, if I interact with it within reason of the actual level, then when it breaks, it's not some catastrophic thing that happens, right? Like I lose a few points, like, that didn't work. If I wait and I wait for confirmation and I wait for this and I wait for that and I wait for the next thing, well, by the time you're entering, it's likely the pullback or some small pullback at least. It just seems to work that way. I don't know why. Well, this is exciting. And as a heads up for all those, the 84 quarter is actually still valid, has to hold. They haven't changed it. So just so you know. And then as a recap on the NQ, not a whole lot to discuss because again, entries were down near the has to hold. Thus far, we've reached two of the three initial targets. So we're just in that zone that there's nothing to talk about. You either got in low or you got in again at the decision point. Otherwise, yeah, nothing to say. Uh, Bob, you there? Sent you a message. On the NQ, be careful of any counter trend trade off the 102 rubber band, just because you've got just about 10 points higher, you've got the second target at 114. Usually when they're that close together. Yeah, usually go tag that second target. So all right, their second target on the NQ and has to hold on the ES pretty much at the same time. So NQ, of course, being that it's a little bit more varied, a little more wide, which is that's kind of what I was saying would likely happen. Um, Watch the 102 closely, as if it breaks and we can get down below, maybe retest expected high, and then get a bounce, then what you may only get on the second attempt up is the 102. And then it would probably be a decent counter trend. And things to watch for here on the ES. Again, assuming that this miner has to hold, it's got some obstacles to overcome. Let's start laying them out here. Yeah, the first major one's down here at 92. So just inside, kind of like pretty much middle of the road here of the 930 opening range. So if we can get a dip from has to hold to at least 92, that's a fantastic spot to take a little off. It's like always an if then, right? You got to get through one thing to get to the next thing. Looks like we got a couple people in here doing the free 7-day trial here with us. So thank you for attending. I do a personal one-on-one with everybody at like usually towards the end of their free trial. So if you haven't set that up with me, you can direct message me. And for the rest of you guys that have been here for a while, tell your friends. We got a link, obviously, on the Blue Wave Trading site. People can all try themselves.